Hello, Gut Health Recovery Group. What's going on here? Happy Friday. Can't believe it's 2 o'clock on Friday again already. The week just absolutely flies, huh? And I've had the craziest week. It's been so busy. It's been awesome though. We're launching a new program next week. So I've been doing so much in prep for that, and webinars and one-on-one clients and hypno sessions, and it's been crazy. I'm assuming everyone's getting busier. It gets into that time of year, doesn't it? So, hi Nat. Hi Ron and Judy. I had a question today about mood swings and the link between them and the brain-gut connection, or the gut-brain connection. So I get this person was interested as to how they affect each other. And this is sort of a really new-ish area. We don't know a lot about it. So we've got mood swings in general. This is how I was sort of breaking down the question. So what can cause mood swings? So some of the common ones would be things like changes in your blood sugar. So if your blood sugar goes, and this is, I'm thinking nutritionally, the things that could cause mood swings. So if your blood sugar is going up and down quickly, that can affect your mood because you get quite hungry and your body is telling you that you need to eat, and that's where that hangry comes in. So that's something that can affect there. Chronic stress, so being always on it, always having to feel like you just keep going and pushing and having that the fight-flight response in constantly running on that fight-flight response. And then the other that I thought of would be emotional overload, or what I'm calling emotional overload. So there is, I guess, when we don't release the past and the negative emotions from the past, that can start to build up, and then we start to just respond instead of we react rather than respond. So we react on autopilot using our unconscious mind when our emotions are just full. The only way to do that is to release the past and release those negative emotions. But there is there's so much evidence coming out more and more about the link between the brain and the gut, and then mood. So I've got I'll show you a whole thing full of notes on what I was looking up and reading up on this, because whenever I get a question, I like to go, I've got my response that comes to my head automatically, and then I like to go, all right, what else is out there? So our intestinal tract is full of things called bacteria and fungi and protozoans, which I can remember from biochemistry but not completely remember them, and viruses. So we have 100 trillion, every person has 100 trillion bacterial species living in the digestive tract. And your digestive tract starts at your mouth and goes all the way down through your bum. So we're literally housing an entire universe within our bodies, with all these bacteria. So we've got to think about that too. Like, we have, no two people are the same. No two people's microbiome is the same. And when we think about like the good gut bugs that live there, there's always going to be differences between people. So there's differences between how many gut bacteria you have and then how diverse that bacteria is. So I did a gut health symposium quite a few years ago now, and they were saying this is usually determined by the age, I'm pretty sure it was 3. And so once it's been determined, you can't really change it again. You can improve it and you can maximize what's already there, but you can't necessarily change a lot of it. I'm sure times to come we'll find out more and more when we do more and more research around this topic that you may be able to change some things down the track. But at the moment, it's believed that we can't. It's predetermined when we're 3. So what does that mean? So all of those bacteria make up, if we were to get them, all the viruses, bacteria, all the things that are compromised, that we call the microbiota, and put them out on a table, on a set of scales, it would weigh 1 kilo. So 1 kilo of your makeup is literally of bacteria and bugs and viruses and all that sort of stuff. Now, these microbiota also produce what we call neurotransmitters. And those neurotransmitters are what talks to the brain. So we've got, and I have to read this part, I'm sorry, because I forget all their names. 95% of the body's serotonin is made in the gut. So I'm sure most people have heard of serotonin as like a happy hormone, serotonin, dopamine, all those sorts of things that affect our moods. 95% of the serotonin that is made in our body is made in our gut. So it means that 5% is only made elsewhere. And up until now, we've all done, like a lot of the research has been around how much of it, and the effect of serotonin on the brain. So a lot of antidepressants work on serotonin and dopamine reactions in the brain. But there is also evidence, and I did listen to a podcast a couple of weeks ago. I go back out of this and into Spotify. I'll pop up the podcast name and you can all listen to it. And it talks about this in a lot of depth. So from what I understand, the serotonin that is created in your gut doesn't all go straight to the brain. So we need it in other places. So it doesn't mean that because that much is produced there, that's going to directly only be the factor that affects our brain and our mood. It's a contributing factor, but it doesn't all affect our mood. It has other jobs as well in the body. I will get back to you on what they are. So secreting serotonin in the brain, from what I understand, is slightly different to its role in the gut. I'm wondering if anyone else has heard of lactobacillus. Often we hear it in yogurt. Give us a wave if you've heard of lactobacillus. That is directly responsible for producing a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, or ACH, and that is linked to memory, cognition, learning, and mood. So it's not as simple as eat more yogurt and your mood will improve. We have to be housing these probiotics in our gut naturally. So we're probably better off trying to improve our own gut bugs, rather than focusing on, I need to have more lactobacillus to help with my mood, or I need to have, what was the other one? I can't remember the name of it now. It's not written up there anymore. I need to have more of this particular one to increase my dopamine, because it doesn't necessarily work that way, or that's what we understand so far. So we have gut bugs that live in our digestive system, and then they produce their own neurotransmitters which affect and travel up to our brain and can enhance our mood or make things worse. But what your probiotics that are living in your gut already, they've been there since you were a kid, since you're a baby or a toddler. They've been there for that long. So it's unlikely that now, and this is probably, I haven't read anything on this, but logically thinking, it's unlikely that now they were only just starting to affect your mood and causing mood swings. If you promote, I guess, better stress response, sleeping patterns, which also there's some probiotics and good gut bugs that can help with your sleep as well. If you're promoting your health in general and living a healthy lifestyle in general, you're going to maximize the effect that these particular gut bugs that we want to promote, you're going to maximize the effect that they have on producing the neurotransmitters that are going to help us. So, because it was interesting when I was reading up on this, there was some other bugs and things like staph and E. coli and candida, which are usually thought of as being really not good for us. It's been shown that they actually produce some of these positive mood enhancing hormones as well. So it's a very complex system. I don't think anyone is going to be able to, work out the whole microbiota within the near future. But there is also links around how many people with depression have issues with their gastrointestinal tract. So it's estimated, I think, about 60% of people with anxiety and depression are believed to have some sort of functional intestinal disruption. So I guess we've sort of got to ask the question, is the brain controlling the gut or the gut controlling the brain? Like, which one has come first? And that's going to be different for everybody. And identifying your triggers for that is probably the best thing that you can do. There is, what else did I want to say? There was another big thing that I wanted to say in there. Oh, that podcast that I listened to, which I will put up the link in here. It's a Spotify podcast. They were saying that there is studies that have shown that taking regular probiotics when you actually don't have a need for them, like the broad spectrum probiotics when you're not unwell, can cause brain fog. Isn't that funny? And I couldn't think about what it was. So if you haven't been on antibiotics and you're not run down and you don't have a digestive issue, taking a daily probiotic could actually be leading to brain fog, which I thought was phenomenal. Like, there's so many people that have been told to just go and take a probiotic for good daily health. And this is this is taking tablets. This isn't probiotics that are found in fermented foods or in yogurt and cultures and things like that. This is taking the, trillion bacteria or billions of bacteria in those little pills. So taking that regularly can actually lead to brain fog. So if you're feeling well and you're taking a probiotic, like if you've got no other issues with yourself and you're taking a probiotic, just check in on your brain and see how you're going. You may not need it, and save it for put it in the fridge and save it for when you get unwell, or if you get a sore tummy or something like that down the track, when the probiotics might be beneficial. The final thing I wanted to say about all of this is that because everybody has a different number of microbiota and a different diversity of microbiota, taking a single probiotic it's not a given that it's going to help. So we don't know and we can't map out, or I think we will be able to soon. I'm sure you could do a stool sample soon and you'll be able to find out what your intestinal microbiota is and the makeup of your microbiome. But right now it's a bit tricky. It's not mainstream practice to do that. So we don't necessarily know what the changes are to your microbiome when you become unwell or when you pick up an infection. So we don't even know that if you're just taking it for general health, we don't necessarily know that it's going to match your microbiota and make your microbiome more diverse and more, it'll increase the number of it for a while, but the studies also show that as soon as you stop taking it, that increase doesn't stay around. It goes back to what it was before. So the body is always usually trying to go back to a set point. And anything external to that we do to our bodies, external to that set point, it will probably usually try and go back to it. So from that point of view, again, the gut is so complex and there's no one-size-fits-all approach for anything that we talk about with the gut. In saying that, we do know that things like infections like C. diff, for example, if anyone knows anyone with C. diff, it's a pretty horrible gastrointestinal bug. We do know that there is a type of probiotic that actually is beneficial for that particular bug that you're trying to fight. So I'm sure down the track there will be more studies and more research completed that will tell us that people with depression should take this particular probiotic, or people with anxiety should take this particular probiotic, or people with mood swings should take this particular probiotic. But at the moment, it's not known. So I guess things to do would be to continue to make sure that your own gut, so your diet is good, your stress levels are good, you've got enough fluid, you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough exercise to help promote the good gut bugs within your own system. Hope that helps. I will, it's all very interesting. I'll do it right now. I'll pop up the name of that podcast in the group, and then you can have a listen for yourself. It goes for a little while, but it was really interesting. Thanks for the questions. Keep questions coming in through the week. They don't just have to be on the Friday, but I'll address everything on the Friday. So we might even pop up in the group on a Monday. Any questions that you might have, just as a reminder. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or put them straight in the group. And then there's other people in the group that might be able to answer questions as well. So I'll let them go ahead and do that too. All right. Take care. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. Or for those that are coming into the Create Your Healthy Weight, I will see you on Tuesday in the Create Your Healthy Weight group for our big finale, or not the finale, the big beginning. God, I think my brain fog's taken over today. All right, bye.